Hello everyone, I just finished watching Love Next Door, which features actors Jong Hae-in as Choi Sung-hyo and actress Jong So-min as Bae Suk-ryu. And until now, I still don't really know how to pronounce her name properly, so I apologize if I kind of butcher the pronunciation. But this K-drama follows the life of Bae Suk-ryu as she goes through life in her mid-30s, just trying to figure out what her dreams are. And I just thought that this was a pretty cute and healing K-drama, so here are 12 life lessons that I've learned from the Korean drama Love Next Door. Lesson number 1. Life can be overwhelming and we need to take a break. I really like what Sok-ryu said, which is going at full throttle like that all the time overloaded my CPU. The screen went blank and the keys stopped working. So I had no choice but to reboot myself. Life can be overwhelming and we need to take a break. Let's not wait for our body to get sick before we take that break. It takes courage to take a break and to just step away from everything that we are doing, especially if you've gotten used to it. Taking a break means moving away from the things that are draining you, the things that are just tiring, not fun anymore, and the things that feel forced. Now, I don't recommend that we follow what Sok-ryu did in the Korean drama, which is going all in, but I do recommend just taking a short break instead of just mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, through Instagram, through YouTube, or whatever social media you guys use. Just think about life for a second. And if writing it down is helpful for you, then just bring out your phone, bring out a journal, write down your feelings, write down your thoughts. Take a moment to just really think about life. Take a short walk outside, call your friends, listen to music, read a book, watch a movie. I know that there are a lot of times where we take a break and it doesn't feel satisfying, or we take a break and it doesn't feel like we deserve it. Usually we take breaks as a reward for ourselves, but I'm here to tell you that taking a break doesn't have to be this gigantic thing. Even just a 5-minute timer on your phone to just lay down in bed, close your eyes, think about life for a moment. I would consider that as a break, and we need it. Lesson number 2. Have the difficult conversations. Now, this doesn't really have a specific episode that I would like to refer to, but this is something that's a pretty recurring theme, I would say, just because there are a lot of scenes in the Korean drama where people are having the difficult conversations. One where you usually hide and take the time to wait for the right moment. But this Korean drama taught me that there oftentimes isn't the right moment to have these conversations. But instead, what I learned is that we need to approach these difficult conversations with sincerity, with a passionate heart. Like, just be honest. I know it's scary sometimes, guys. I'm Asian, okay? I'm Asian, and having the guts to approach my parents when I do something wrong or when I just want to have a heart-to-heart talk with them can be difficult sometimes. And I'm not saying that these difficult conversations always have to be with your parents. They can be with your siblings. They could be with your close friends. Just if you feel hurt by someone, by what they did, just approach them with sincerity and just let them know. Just have that difficult conversation. I know how it feels as an Asian when you're coming up to your parents all scared and stuff. They have the hangers ready, the belts ready, the slippers ready, all that stuff. I know it's scary. And I know sometimes having difficult conversations with your friends as well can be scary because you're afraid you might lose them. But I want you to just know that it's okay to just sit down with your friends, sit down with whoever you need to talk to, and just let them know what's in your heart. Have sincerity and have those difficult conversations. Lesson 3. Trust your choice and move on. In episode 3, Sok-ryu begins looking for an answer to the question, what is my dream? And in the scene where she is talking to her teacher, the teacher tells her, I realized something after being a teacher for so long. Children keep growing. Even if I don't teach them, they all find the answers on their own somehow. Don't change your mind. Trust your choice and move on. Changing it always ends up wrong. This scene teaches us to trust our choices and move on. I know that there is a lot of fear in decision making. I know that there is a lot of fear with the unknown. And I know that when making big life decisions, it can be very, very scary. But just trust your choice and move on. I remember one time when I was in church and we had someone asking our pastor saying, Pastor, how do I know if this girl is the one that I'm supposed to be marrying? Or something along the lines of, how do I know if she's the one for me? And I just remember laughing at the answer that the pastor gave, which is, how am I supposed to know if she's the one for you? And it makes a lot of sense because something that I've learned, especially through this K-drama, is you are the only one who knows what you want. You're the only one who knows what's in your heart. So that's how I want us to approach our dreams, how I want us to approach making decisions in our life. Just trust your choice and move on. Stop overthinking. Don't think too much about it. Just trust yourself, know what's in your heart, move on. Life lesson number 4. Always have time for your friends and family. Now, this is a life lesson that keeps coming back to me whenever I watch these kinds of Korean dramas. Korean dramas that just have like a family theme, or just Korean dramas that kind of want to make you cry. I didn't cry this K-drama, I think. I can't remember. But just K-dramas like this in general that revolves around friends and family. Because in episode 5, there isn't a particular scene that says spend more time with your friends and family. There was a scene where Moom was talking to Danho and he needs to spend more time with his daughter because she found him sick and the poor little daughter was just fighting for her life by herself. So in these kind of situations or in these kind of scenes when I'm watching movies or Korean dramas, I'm always just reminded that we really need to spend more time with our friends and families. And I'm reminded by a photo in Facebook. I unfortunately can't find the photo anymore. I'm gonna try and make my own, and the Facebook photo just said the time you think you have with friends or time you think you have with people, and at the bottom it says time you actually have with people. And when I saw this photo, it really just reminded me that yeah, usually, you know, people live for like 60 years old or whatever, maybe older, maybe younger, and a lot of times we think that, oh, I'm gonna be with my friends. I've been with my high school friends for 10 years now. Really, the time that we spend together just going out, spending time with each other, or the last time I've played with them, the last time I've been on a Discord call with them, it's becoming a lot more rare, and I'm only just 26, guys. At this age, people are already getting a lot busier. It's been very hard for me to find time with my friends. So seeing this photo and this life lesson in general just really shows me the importance of spending more time with my family and friends. So I hope that you guys too don't underestimate the amount of time you have with them and just really spend more time with friends and family. Lesson number 5. Dreams don't have to be grand, just do what you love. In episode 5, Seok-ryu is talking to Taehui and she says, "To me, the stories of people who have found their dreams always sound special. I have no idea where or how to start." And Taehui responds by saying, "Just go do what you've always liked doing, whatever it may be." And later when she is talking to Sung-hyo, she says, "I think I found it. A dream that doesn't have to be grand or elaborate." And I think that just clears out so much doubts. As I've gotten older and as I've seen through this K-drama, I've just learned that dreams aren't something that you always have to go all in for. Dreams are something that can just be put on the side, you know, passion projects, that's a dream. It doesn't have to be something that you always have to make sure that, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. But it's something that you can take slow steps going towards. If you want to be a teacher, yeah, sure, you gotta go to college, graduate with a teacher's degree on education, bachelor's, I don't know what it's called, but you gotta go do that. If you want to be a lawyer, you gotta go to law school. But there are things where sometimes you're just too busy or you don't have the financial resources to follow your dreams, and suddenly you're just thinking like, what now? You know, what about my dreams? But I can tell you from experience, I have a friend. We graduated in 2019. It's currently 2025 as I'm recording this video. And it was only in 2024, I believe in August, where she started law school. So it's been 5 years after she graduated college. And that's the only time when she started going to law school. So dreams aren't something that you have to just lock in and be like, this has to happen. I mean, yes, it has to happen. It's your dream, bro. Like, go chase it. But it's not something that you have to be super down about if you're not able to do everything that you have to every day. Dreams are something that you can just take your time with, and eventually you'll see it happen. It can be 5 years from now, just like my friend. It can be a year from now. It can be months from now. It could be literally tomorrow. Just do what you have to make that dream come true. But something that I've learned here is that dreams don't have to be grand. Just do what you love. And it's just these things that you really see yourself walking towards over time. A lot of people have this mindset where dreams have to make you famous, dreams have to make you rich, where dreams are really just whatever you want it to be. You want to be a writer? Go write. You want to be a photographer? Go be a photographer. Doesn't have to be big, just has to be what you want to do. You know, your dream may be small for other people, but you're really the only one who knows how big your dream is, or how you're the only one who experiences the rewards of chasing your dreams. So you're the only one who really knows how big your dream is. Me having 100 subscribers, me having the opportunity to be the photographer for my friend's wedding, me having the opportunity to be able to volunteer as a teacher for a public school was really something that I'm really thankful for, because these are things that I've dreamed of, and these are things that I'm slowly seeing myself going towards. Life lesson number 6. You won't know until you try. In episode 7, when Sunghyo and Taewi are talking, Sunghyo sees the many failed Ungi and asks if it's due to lack of skill. And Taewi responds by saying, "No matter how carefully I shape the clay, no one knows how it'll come out of the fire. You won't know unless it goes into the kiln." And I took this scene, or this lesson, or this quote, whatever it may be, as a you won't know until you try. You can try your very hardest with everything. You can do your best, but then, only time will tell the results of your actions. Basically, it just means that you can try your very hardest, and rewards may not always show immediately. Rewards may not even show. You could be an absolute failure. But in here, I'm just saying that Taehui is already a potter, or whatever it's called, but she's making these ungi and these clay pots, and sometimes it ends up as failures, even though she does her best for it. And the same goes for us. We could be doing our best in photography, we can be doing our best in writing, we can do our best in making videos, or whatever it may be. But if we don't have views, if we aren't selling books, if we aren't landing jobs as photographers or anything like that, then where is the rewards, right? We could be the best on earth, but only time will tell. Is this a way of finding out if it's for me, or if it's a time for me to give up? Honestly, just like I said earlier, only you can really tell. Only you know what's in your heart. If you know in your heart that, hey, maybe this isn't for me, then hey, it's okay to take a break. Life lesson number 1: life can be overwhelming. If you fail so much, you get overwhelmed, take a break. And after a few months, a few weeks, a few years, you go back and see in your heart that, hey, I really wanted to go back to doing this. Then that's when just keep going. And if you fail, just keep learning, just keep getting back up, keep going for it. And if again you say, hey, maybe this isn't for me, it's not for you. But if you fail and fail and fail, and you still have that drive, you still have that passion to just keep going, then keep going for it, brother, sister, keep going. Lesson number 7: be supportive. There is this one scene in episode 8 where Seok-ryu is talking to her family, her parents, and she finally figures out what her dreams are. And she goes up to her parents and says, "Mom, Dad, this is what I want to do." And the parents, as you may have guessed, were not supportive. So how did this scene tell me that, hey, be supportive? Obviously, because I've seen how having non-supportive people in your life can be very damaging, especially when it comes to chasing your dreams. Having people saying that your dreams are very silly, having people saying your dreams will never come true. I hope that never happens to you guys. But having people who make fun of your dream, thinking it's unachievable or unrealistic, can be very painful, especially to people in the younger generation who just think that, hey, I want to be a YouTuber, hey, I want to be an artist, hey, I want to be doing this. And then people are like, no, that's such a low paying job, no, there's no future for that, no, you gotta study this, you gotta do this. And I'm just like, hey guys, can we please just be supportive? You never know how much it means to a person when you cheer them on. When you say, hey, I think that you're really talented, I think you're really good, I think you could do this, I believe you could do this. Just say, hey, I will support you. If they're baking cookies and they're trying to sell it online, be the first customer. If people are making YouTube videos, making TikToks, be their first follower, be their first subscriber. Just giving that little amount of support really goes a long way for a lot of people. And I just want to share this interview that I watched in my English class. It's an interview done by my English professor where she's interviewing this writer, or this author rather, and the interview goes like this.
One of the things I found is that I really believe positivity and encouragement is the way to get writers to write their better work. To be diminished only diminishes us. And so, and there's a lot of pushback in the world against that. They think you have to be criticized and beaten down and humiliated to be made a better writer.
Right.
Whereas I think if we're encouraged to be your tallest self, what you will write will be so much more interesting.
Right.
I really love this because It just shows that you don't have to be beaten down, you don't have to be criticized to be the best version of yourself. It actually is the exact opposite. Having that support or having the encouragement of people will encourage you to be the best version of yourself. And it's only when you have this kind of support or you have this encouragement where it really helps you go out there. You're not afraid to try out different things anymore because people will be supportive of you either way. So I think that this clip or this just interview in general was really amazing because a lot of people think that to be successful you have to go through so much criticisms, just like the person who made KFC had to be rejected by a lot of CEOs like 50 times or something. J.K. Rowling not being able to publish her book because of being rejected 50 times, Steve Jobs, whatever, all those successful people who had to go through so much criticism and who had to go through so much failures. It just shows that sometimes support really goes the distance. Support really goes all the way into helping people just be the best version of themselves, and it really helps people to stop being afraid to chase their dreams, to go out there, and because sometimes chasing your dreams can be a very scary thing. The life lesson here is just be supportive. It goes a long way. It's big difference to people. Lesson number 8. People are sending you signals, so be there for them. Listen, guys, I'm really bad at being there for others. I'm the kind of person where if you come up to me and you're crying or you have a problem, I struggled a lot of times where my friends would have problems where they would rant about someone who said something or had done something to them, and I'm just thinking, hey, maybe this is because, maybe they did this because, and I remember so many times my friends would just really get mad at me and they would always hate approaching me because I'm like that when they have problems. And throughout my years of being a youth leader, I've just learned that they just want to talk. You don't have to say anything. The more you say stuff, the more in trouble you might even get. And usually when they're saying these kind of things, the number one rule is you have to be their teammate. Even if you think they're in the wrong, well, I know that's debatable, but usually if you think they're wrong, usually you just go with the flow and be like, yo, this person, he's bad, I agree with you, this person did something really stupid, you're right, brother. And that may not always be the case, of course, but I've learned that, hey, just be there for them for now, and then later on, once they've calmed down, or later on when you think they're ready to actually hear what they need to hear, maybe that's when you can tell them. But overall, the general advice is just listen to them, less talk, less mistakes. Just be there for them and let them rant, bro. Lesson number 9. Things don't get better with age, or things don't get easier with age. In episode 11, Song-hyo opens up to his parents about the pain he had when he was still 7 years old. He says, "But I'm an adult now. I don't even want to care about stuff like that. But when I see you two, I go back to that day when I was 7. I've spent my whole life stuck there." And when I saw this scene, the first thing that came to me was the idea that things don't get easier with age. A lot of people tend to have the mindset that the older you get, you kind of have less problems, or the older you get, you kind of just learn to deal with it, or you're just like tougher or stronger. And usually that is the case. But I just want to let you know that, hey, I'm 26 years old, man, and I'm still struggling to get through. I'm still struggling with life. I'm still confused. I'm still lost. A lot of my friends that I know are still struggling to figure out what they want to do in their life. They're kind of still just being these like corporate slaves or whatever. Their words, not mine, by the way. But yeah, things don't get easier with age. A lot of people just have this mindset that, hey, you're older, you shouldn't be crying about these things. Hey, you're older, you're supposed to have everything figured out. Hey, you're older, you can just weather through the storm, just toughen up, grow a pair. But in my mindset, or in my opinion, that's not how things go. Sometimes you get older and you're still struggling with the things you struggled with when you were younger. Sometimes you're older and you're experiencing these new things. You're going through these new problems you've never experienced before. Just like bills, guys. Just like bills. Just like taxes. And then suddenly you're just like, hey, I don't know what to do, man. I'm struggling to pay my electricity, my car, my house, all these kind of stuff. It doesn't get easier with age, guys. You just learn, you get better. It doesn't get easier. You're still gonna struggle with it. I know some parents who are still struggling with it. That's the life lesson here. Things don't get easier with age. That's kind of depressing, but it's just kind of like my way of telling you guys or reassuring you guys that hey, you can be in your mid 20s just like me, maybe in your mid 30s, mid 40s, whatever it may be, and you guys will still struggle. That sounds depressing. That did not help. It's my way of reassuring you guys that it's okay to have problems. It's okay to struggle. It's okay not having things figured out. Okay, that's the lesson here. Things don't get easier with age, and that's okay. Lesson number 10 in episode 13, it says, not everyone can be special. And that's kind of depressing, just like my last lesson. But I have in my notes, and it says here, you don't need to try so hard. The lesson, not everyone can be special, is kind of weird. There's this saying where everyone is special, everyone is unique. Let me give you the context. In episode 13, Seokryeo is talking to her brother Dongjin, and she says this, not everyone can be special. Most people just live ordinary lives, so don't be too obsessed with becoming someone great. Just find what's valuable to you in your life, and that's more than enough. So now that you've heard her exact words in the Korean drama, it's a lot more motivating. I think. But it's kind of similar to the past lesson where dreams don't have to be big, just do what you love. But this one, in this context, kind of just more, you don't have to aim so much for like being famous or being rich when it comes to your dream. You know, going back to this whole I'm Asian thing, a lot of the times, not just for me, but for a couple of my friends, there have been these kind of situations or these moments where we're telling our parents, like, hey, I want to be an artist. Hey, I want to be doing photography. Hey, I want to do YouTube. You know, I want to be a writer. I want to do this. I want to do this. And then suddenly, the only options you really have as an Asian is teacher, not a teacher, a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor. Only these three choices, guys, as an Asian. If you're an Asian, in the comments, let me know. But yeah, I wanted to become a teacher when I was younger, and until now, I still kind of want to be a teacher. People are just like, hey, teachers are a really low-paying job, bro. I don't know if you want to do that. But here I am, still like, hey, I want to make an inspiration. I want to make an impact on the younger generation. You know, I want to help these guys out. I wanted to be a teacher all my life, and people are just saying, hey, that's a really low-paying job. You know, I understand that you want to help people. I know you want to make an impact, but being a teacher, you know, you could do that a different way. You can make an impact different ways. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do YouTube. There's no future there, and all these kind of things. And I'm just like, this is what I want to do, so this is what I'm doing. The lesson, not everyone can be so special. Not everyone can be special. So yeah, you don't have to try so hard to make your dreams come true. As long as you know in your heart that, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm loving it. McDonald's, I don't know. Yeah, if you're doing it, you're happy with it, just keep going. Just keep doing it. Don't try so hard. Don't overthink it. Just keep going. Lesson number 11. It's not too late to start over. This is something I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard. In one episode, Seokryeo is talking to Songhyo, and she says, why am I like this? I was feeling hopeless, but this feels like the heavens gave me permission to keep trying. And later on in the episode, Seokryo's parents are talking, and the mom says to the dad, let's stop now. You used to like poems and these hands drew well, but you picked pans over pens to earn a living. You've done a great job. And although in this context with the parents, it's more on like retirement, I kind of just like took this line or these few lines that they've said. It's like, hey, you know, I know this has been your dream. You've wanted to write, you wanted to draw, but you chose to be a chef instead, so that we can earn a living, so that you can help out your family and all that stuff. And I know a lot of cases where we are like that, where we put aside our dreams because it's not making us money, and instead we're focusing more on just like doing what we can to actually survive. Where, as I've said earlier, you know, dreams aren't something that you have to always go all in for. These are things that can be put to the side, and then you can start chasing your dreams when you can, you know, when you can start doing it. And in this case, I don't know the dad's age, but since it's retirement based, I'm guessing probably early to mid to late 60s, in his 60s. And yeah, you know, it's never too late to start. If he's in his 60s or in his 70s and he finally starts writing poems, if he's in his 60s, 70s, and he's finally starting to like make art, then hey man, not too late to start over. In Seokryo's case, she's in her mid 30s. She's finally found out what she's wanted to do with her life, or what she's wanted to do in her life, I guess. And that's just it, you know. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to chase your dreams. It's never too late to try the things that you've been afraid to do in the past. So just remember, it's not too late to start over. Just go do it. And finally, life lesson number 12. People remember your kindness. This lesson definitely hits home. I've been watching YouTubers and I've just been hearing all their like stories where their fans come up to them and be like, hey, you really helped me through tough times. I was watching you when this happened. I watched you when this happened. And as a youth leader myself, you know, when I'm helping out my kids or when I go on a mission and I go back to that place where we recently had a mission, the teenagers just come up to me and be like, hey Kuya, I remember you. You were this person. I remember you taught me this. I'm thankful that you said this. I'm thankful that you said this. And in my heart, I'm just always like, man, it just feels so good to be kind to people, and especially when people remember your kindness. And this is my lesson, you know, people remember your kindness. This isn't something that I want to hope people do, but I know for a fact that people do. You've made an impact on people's lives. People remember your kindness. I remember one of my favorite quotes when I was in high school, all the way until now, is a teacher for a day is a teacher for life. I got it from a movie. But basically, in the movie, there was a teacher who retired, and one of the students was like, yo, teach, I remember you. And he's like, I'm not a teacher anymore. Don't call me that. He's like, but you were a teacher for me. And it's just like, hey, a teacher for a day is a teacher for life. And I'm just like, that's a pretty good quote. You could be a teacher for someone's life for a day. Just like if you only watch one of my videos and you learn something, I hope you guys remember me, and just kind of that. So people remember your kindness. I'm not saying that I want people to come up to me and be like, hey, thank you for this, thank you for this, thank you for this. I'm not being kind to boost my ego or anything like that, but really just being kind in general, and having that moment where people do remember your kindness is just that boost in like that boost, you know? But yeah, there was this one scene in the Korean drama where the dad was a restaurant owner, and when one of the customers from long ago went to this restaurant, and she goes like, oh, you haven't changed yet, sir, you're still making the same food. I remember when I was having difficulties with my exams, you know, you gave me free food, you gave me this, you were so nice and all that stuff. And this scene just made me think that, hey, people remember your kindness. And yeah, people remember your kindness. And I just came from a concert last December. They were the Katinas, and they said this one line where being grateful and not saying it is just like wrapping a gift without giving it. So a bonus to this like lesson of people remember your kindness is be grateful. You know, let people know you appreciate them. Let people know that you're thankful. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Because when people find out how much they've made an impact on your life, they'll be more motivated to be kind to other people. And I just remember the times when I would go on missions, or when I would talk to my youth in church, and then they would be like, hey Kuya, I remember you. Hey Kuya, thank you for this, thank you for this, you really helped me, and stuff like that. So whenever I hear those, I'm always just motivated to be kinder to a lot more people, because I know if I'm helping these people, I can help a lot more people. And I'm not saying this to like boost my ego or anything. I'm not being kind to receive recognition or whatever, but it's just really a big boost to people's like mental, or like they're just more motivated to be nice to people. So be grateful, and people remember your kindness. So be kind to everyone. And lastly, as the title of episode 15 says, it's not the last episode, but episode 15's title is Bravo My Life. Let this be a reminder to just give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself, hey, you did a good job. I did a good job. You know, we're struggling, we're lost, we're confused, but we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. So just remember, keep at it, chase your dreams. You got it, bro. You got it, sis. Keep going. And remember, live to inspire, live to make a difference, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.